Today we'll be cutting this huge rhodolite garnet in an emerald cut because it is a rectangle and it's already set up looking like an emerald cut. The emerald cut is right here. It has 37 total facets. And this is the design we're going to create today. Massive rhodolite garnet in an emerald cut. Should be beautiful. And this is basically crack up in the top corner here on the left side. And it looks like these first set of facets are going to eliminate that. So it's almost like this stone was made to be an emerald cut. Look how straight the sides are. This is not a synthetic stone. It's from Africa. We are going to weigh in this rhodolite garnet. It got knocked off the dot because we're cutting at 21-degree angle for an emerald cut. 25 carats. And it's such a steep angle on top where you're cutting that it can rip it right off the dot when you first get started. So 25 carats, I'm guessing we're gonna get down to about 15 carats, which would be pretty crazy. 15 carat rhodolite garnet in an emerald cut. That's the plan. All right, we've got our first 8 facets in. Not polished all the way, but we're gonna lose most of this on the next set of facets. We're basically setting a stone size. And it's looking pretty good. Unbelievably perfect inside, clear, great color. This is gonna be an amazing garnet. One of the best garnets ever. Okay, but our pavilion is coming along here. There's lots of different facets. You don't have to polish them all the way down if you're not sure how to get through them. You can figure them out and then come back later and polish them. I'm having a problem with my P2 facet. I might do it later. But the facet diagram is just a guide. You really can do whatever you want to do. And unless you're going to do a competition, you're probably not going to change the brilliance that much. All right, so let's keep going here. And there are places you can find rhodolite garnet in the United States. So you can go out and get your own precious gemstones. These are found in North Carolina, and they're found in Montana. And our other sister site, Mines and Mountains on YouTube, is going to show you where to get those at. And go get yourself some gemstones for free. We show you all the spots around the world, including the United States. Now this is the final facet. It's a P5 on this diagram. But the P5s are cutting out the P4s, which are these ones here. You see I'm starting to cut out the P4 on this side. Here it's complete. So sometimes the faceting diagrams are wrong. Basically, they have 5 needs to be where 4 is. Because basically, I have to come back and cut the 4s now. Here, I got to cut the 4s here on this side again. So go to your diagram. And this is Andrew Brown, copyright Emerald. It's wrong. And this P4 and P5 are out of place. So if you do it again, need to make a note that this problem right there. Okay? There's other issues with this emerald cut, but that's the biggest one. You've got facets covering up facets as you go down this list, this long list of facets here on the pavilion. It's very complicated, but definitely 5 shouldn't be covering up 4. Okay? That's the problem with this one, but you could find problems on many diagrams. You know, these are just people coming up with new things, and maybe when he transcribed it, he put it out of order. But the P5 facets are now in, and as you can see, the P4s are gone. The P1s are gone as well. So let's go back to the diagram and see what happened. Okay. So on the P5, it says meet P2, 3, 4, and form a center point. So we do have a center point, so we did the right thing there, but the diagram's all backwards. All right, so we have to go back and cut 4 now. So we're gonna try to do that, and this is what it should look like. Our 5s took out our 4s and our 1. Okay, so the diagram said 4 then 5, but 5 took out the 4 and the 1. So it's backwards. But overall, the pavilion is shaped right, so it's not really a big deal. We're gonna lose a little material, and we'll just go back and cut these, and next time we'll know. All right, so we have our P2 facet on the corner, our P5 on the end, actually our P5 here. We do not have P4 facets. And the problem is when you cut this girdle around here, this side's gonna be too long for your girdle. You have that part sticking up right there. So if you imagine a girdle around here at 1 millimeter, this part would jump up to 2 millimeters, which is not acceptable by anyone. You cannot sell something like that. Someone else is gonna have to recut it for you if you do. So we have to put in these P4 facets, and they'll come right after these P2 corner facets right there. So let's put that in, and then after that, we can polish the girdle and flip the stone over to the other side. But it's looking amazing. This stone is very clean inside, and hopefully we get a lot of carats out of it. You can see me cutting in the P4 facet. It needs to meet up with that corner facet, so we create a level girdle. So we're gonna cut that until it's level. Okay, we've got our train wreck corrected, and all of our meet points are lining up. So let's do the other side, and we can polish it and move on. Now we couldn't polish the girdle because it's grinding the dop. The stone is too small for the dop after we cut it all down. So we'll polish the girdle on the other side. It's in a transfer jig. This one's a special one for an emerald cut. See that V in it? That is for the emerald cut. All right, see you on the other side. The tricky part about an emerald cut is that your dop doesn't have this little angle piece. So it's impossible to line it back up to the 96 degrees. All right, so Ultratech has a tool called the, I can't even pronounce it, Girdle Aligner, G-U-I-U. I don't know if they made that word up, but anyway, this allows you to align an emerald cut. And basically, you put the stone in here. This is a huge rhodolite garnet. All right. And that way you can level this on your wheel. And then that's how you can get it to 96 perfectly, okay? Because without that, there's no way to line up this end in here. Normally, we just line this back up and go, but we can't do that. So let's see how it looks. Once you have it flat on this side, you can go ahead and tighten it up. I'm going to push down a little bit. And as long as it's spaced evenly under there, then you got it. So it appears to be spaced evenly. And then you can take off your stone, and that way you can reline it back up. And that's how you do it with an emerald cut, because as you can see, the dop is different. You see how it's got that little V right there? It's not like a normal dop that's round. You're putting it back into that V, and you've got to line it up. It's got to be totally square on your disc. All right, so now we have the new dop lined up at 90 degrees. And it's the same concept as your table tool, where you're trying to get it totally flat to line it up to cut your table. So it's the same concept, and it's very fast. So you could probably make your own. This one's very expensive, $150, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I don't have time to be manufacturing parts and things like that. The first 8 facets on the crown are done. And you can see there are some scratches at the top of the facet, but the table is going to eliminate those and our next set of facets. We have 4 more to go. This Rhodolite garnet is completely clear inside. No inclusions, no bubbles, nothing. Great color. It'll be for sale on minesandmountains.com here shortly. I think it's over 10 carats. And at the moment, a lot of this is polished to 60,000 diamond grit. So let's keep going, and we're gonna have our Rhodolite Garnet Emerald cut done here shortly. And the final set of facets is at 30 degrees. Make sure you have your entire lap covered in water. And you kind of want to have more water running when you're doing a cut more than a polish. So the rougher the grit, the more water you want going. You don't want it to heat up. And then you can lower it down. And you'll see when the number hits. You see that? We can go till it stops. And then we can lower it down some more. And it'll stay at 30 degrees. And we'll see where we're at. Try to use the entire lap when you can. You can't always go against the grain, but you can use the whole thing. And here you can see our final set of facets going in. They're not polished yet, that's why they're lighter colored. And then there'll be a table on top that's flat, and that's it. So let's get these polished down so you can see the final product. Those same facets at 60,000 diamond grit. And there are some marks on there from the paper towels. But okay, those same facets at 60,000 diamond grit. You can see it has amazing color. And now we'll float the table and finish it off. This massive, beautiful Rhodolite garnet cut in an emerald cut style. The Colombians would be proud. When you're in your table, you set it to 45, add your tabling tool, just like the other tool we used to get the stone on the daub right for an emerald cut. And then we can adjust the cheater here. This is how it should look. You want to use extra water on the table. You cannot have any accidents happen at this point. Okay, we've worked too hard not to have any kind of problems going on here. We're cutting at 3,000 grit. Don't use too much grit. We're gonna go 3,000, then 8,000, then 60,000. You could go 100,000 on your table, would be nice, right? Get it even more blingy. So here we go. As you see in the chart, it is a very large table. So So we're going to have to take it down pretty far and make sure we leave that second facet, that small rectangle on the inside. Now many of you might be tempted to leave a smaller table on an emerald cut, but what you really want to do is let the light in, the stone, and with the garnet especially, because the lighter it is, the more valuable it's going to be, because so many garnets are just too dark to even cut. So don't stop there, follow the diagram. Let's make the table even bigger. So we're getting these scratches out of the table. You can see the diamond polish building up on there. That's okay, because the diamond polish is what's going to get those scratches out of there. If they won't come out, you add more polish. That's the solution. This is the 8000 grit. And sometimes it's like nails on a chalkboard. Hear that? See, the other side of this lap is grabbing the stone. We do not want to have it come off at this point. We'll never get it docked back right. It'll never be 100% correct. So you can stay on this side of the disc just to be safe, and just keep working those scratches out until they're all gone. It's not worth the risk. Don't take any chances when you're this close to the end. And I know this sounds horrible, but that's how it sounds on the table a lot of the times. And we have our table polished. There is some lint on there from the paper towel, but you can see it has amazing color. So now the next step is to put it in acetone and get the glue off of there, and then we'll weigh it up and see what it weighs. But look at that amazing color and clarity in a perfect Rhodolite garnet. And if you check out our other channel, Mines and Mountains, you can see where to go get your own Rhodolite garnets for free. So we'll be putting that video out pretty soon. There is a place in New Jersey, Montana, and Canada where you can get Rhodolite garnets that are facet grade. And I'll be getting a couple 5-gallon buckets, so I'll have a lifetime supply. And then I will grade them, and we probably will sell those eventually as well. So thanks for watching.